All right. Well, I guess we'll just pretty much get right into it. Pretty much, can you tell us like pretty much a little bit about you and why you pretty much joined Long Wealth Capital?
So basically, I work in the film industry, so I have long amounts of time off, and I've been pretty like decent with my cash and when I'm and saving it overall. And so I basically joined because it seemed like a good opportunity for me to start using some of the money I've saved, and this capital that I've kind of accumulated to work for me a little bit more and therefore like kind of get me into that next level of financial freedom.
What was some of your like experience before? You're in the stock market, you do options and you trade stocks.
I did a few courses about on day trading and like just mainly looking at like the Russell and all that stuff. And day trading just really wasn't my thing. You know, waking up at 3 a.m. I think it was where I am, and so like getting up for the market open and all that, it just really kind of freaked me out, and just there was a lot of
Yeah.
high stress, and it was kind of like the only thing I thought that you could do is like crypto and like day trading. But then when I stumbled upon your guys' thing, it was like more long term. You know, not necessarily doing trades every day, just a lot more analysis on stuff that is successful and, mitigating that risk. It kind of really spoke to me of just being like, oh, like there's actually a way to do this where, it's not as sketchy.
Yeah. That's not time consuming. All the emotions that are involved with the day trading, waking up early, consuming your pretty much all your mental capacity pretty much if things don't go your way, right? How did
Exactly.
sort of in terms of all that, how does that like those programs like compare to this program in terms of whether it's like the motion, the profits you're able to gain, whether you're unprofitable the other way? Can you tell us about your experience in the other programs versus here?
hmm Well, the other programs I did, I ended up not doing a single trade because I didn't have the confidence. It was one of those things where, I started doing a little bit of paper money, alternate ways to do or simulations.
Hmm.
And, I was kind of like, whatever, but I didn't get the confidence. And maybe if I kept doing it, it would have worked. But the reason this program gave me the confidence to start trading and like going through your methods is that it all kind of adds up when you do your analysis. The analysis that you kind of lay out, it's just like, okay, we're looking at basically the entire picture, not just um,
The
what's happening
charts,
on the graphs, not just the charts, actually diving deep into what the company's going through, the macroeconomics of who, where's the money? Is the economy inflated right now? What's happening in the government? What's happening overseas? It kind of encapsulates the entire perspective of what the stock that you're trading will actually do. And it's like, okay, we've done our analysis, we've done our best. And then it's also the way you have it laid out where it's like you're not going to be throwing all of your capital into anything at one point, so when you do have those days where it drops 10%, it actually gives you that opportunity yet again, to like go into it more and dollar cost average it out, and it all kind of just starts to make a lot more sense.
yeah. When I pretty much was looking around at other people, how they were trading, all that kind of stuff, they never did the fundamental analysis. And I never really got why they never did that because it gives you that conviction to go into certain plays, right? When things don't go your way, you're able to allocate more and more money into it because you did your due diligence. You know that this company is on a fundamental basis undervalued. So you have that conviction to pretty much pour money into the stock, right? It's your
Mhm.
hard-earned money. You don't want to lose your money, so it's always best to do a thorough analysis from A through Z, essentially.
Exactly.
Also, so in terms of your experience here, what has your experience been like? How much money have you made, or like percentage-wise, if you want to give that number out, or how things been since joining the program?
I was actually just looking at that. Unfortunately, I had a bunch of trades already in my account, so it's hard to get an exact number of what my percentage gain has been.
Mhm.
since I started with you. But basically, like after I kind of liquidated all of the stuff that I had just sitting there doing like absolutely nothing for me. Watching those waves, I was making some dividends. I guess that's like always a plus, but it was nothing really major. But I'm definitely up like 2 grand already, or like close to it. Out of my $20,000 investment. So it's like 2 grand,
Very
and I think I started with you guys like 3 weeks ago. You know,
good. Two
so
grand
it's
in 3 weeks.
yeah, it's pretty good. It's no slouch. I think right currently, I'm not in like I think that my plays right now are a little bit dropped, but with like everything that you lay out, I'm just like, oh yeah, it's fine. Like it's gonna
Yeah.
come back. I have
Yeah.
my sell orders set, so in whatever 3 or 4 days when those they do what we expect them to do,
Mhm.
I'll get out and it'll be time for the next one.
Very good. Yeah. It looks like pretty much doing exactly what I tell you, right? Your emotions are in check. You are not too worried about the daily fluctuations about what the stock is doing. You have that conviction that the stock is going to move the way you want it to go.
hmm
Can
And there's
you?
been like little lessons like over the course of it. There's like one day that and it's that emotional thing that you're talking about. I think I was getting into Tesla stock, and you had made a recommendation of getting into it at like 170 or 171,
Yeah.
and when I got in, I was like it was at 172, and I was
Mhm.
like I set a sell order, or I mean a buy order at like 171, and like waited an hour, and I went and checked on it, and it had gone up to like 173 or 175. I'm like, oh shoot, I missed the boat. So I moved it up to 170, 3 or
Mhm.
whatever, just to like, not go too crazy. And then when it came back down, that's when it bought, and then it was back down to like 169 within a matter of minutes. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, like this is why you need to keep your emotions in check. Like
Yeah.
you're just like set your thing and don't veer from it. It's just lock your brain in. It was a really good like lesson of just being like, dude, don't watch it. If you
Exactly.
don't get in, you don't get in, and like that's that. That's okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Pretty much what I said, right? Opportunities are always going to present. Don't always like chase a certain stock. The opportunities are just going to come. Just
Yeah,
give it some time.
exactly.
Awesome. Could you pretty much provide your overall thoughts since joining the program?
hmm the program's like definitely really good, and like the modules and stuff, you kind of like do a good job of drilling in your head about the emotions and stuff.
Mhm.
And I think the really nice thing is like the ability to have the one-on-one calls, because I think module 4 is a lot. Like there's a lot of information that kind of gets chucked at you at once, and I think the ability to actually talk to you and kind of like answer those questions about, Fibonacci's and Elliott waves and your fundamental analysis and what you're actually looking for. That has been like the super big benefit. Like I think if I was just watching the videos, I would have been way more lost. I would have been like, okay, like I have the idea, but like I don't have that confidence of like being able to play, like throw the ideas at you and like actually be able to hear your thoughts and kind of guide you in the right way and why you do these things. Whenever you have a conversation about anything, it just kind of embeds it in your brain a lot better. It's why we still go to school to learn stuff. It's just that simple.
Exactly. Appreciate the words. Ultimately, last and foremost, would you recommend this course or this whole mentorship to anyone else out there?
If you're like really wanting to get into value investing and start learning like the basic fundamentals of the stock market and how everything kind of works, like 100%. It's very valuable. You kind of get in, you get like the baseline knowledge of how money works, and then it's also like a really cool perspective on how like the world works, because I'm already starting to view the entire financial world and like the way the government works and all these other things in a completely new manner now, because the reality is money doesn't lie, the charts don't lie, all that stuff. It's very fascinating. And
Yeah.
so if you want to learn more, I'd highly recommend it.
Appreciate it, Keoni. All right. Thank you so much for your time.